Hey everyone, I want to clear up something really quick before I get started. There is so much that I wanted to say about this game that I decided to split the content into two videos. This first video will kick off my review series, and just as it sounds, will be a review of the game, which will remain spoiler-free. It will feature my thoughts, opinions, and critique of Life is Strange. I will also be recording a video which will kick off my Let's Discuss series, where I'll dive a lot deeper into the meat of the game, its details, its story elements, and that video will be filled with spoilers. So, if you haven't yet played through the game or watched a playthrough online, this video is a great place to start. If you have already played through the game, then I hope you will finish watching this video and then come join me in that second one and discuss Life is Strange with me. And I'll go ahead and leave a link to that video. So, with that out of the way, welcome to GameApparent. My name is Jared, and this is Life is Strange. Life is Strange is an adventure game developed by DONTNOD Entertainment and published by Square Enix. It's composed of 5 episodes which were released periodically throughout 2015 from January to October in the format that was popularized by Telltale Games with their series such as The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. The game centers around Max Caulfield, a high school girl who moved back to her hometown of Arcadia Bay to attend the prestigious Blackwell Academy to pursue photography. Through various circumstances, she ends up witnessing the murder of her best friend Chloe Price in the girls' bathroom during a drug deal gone sour. The traumatic event, in true X-Men fashion, awakens in Max the power to rewind time, which she then uses to prevent Chloe's death. The story then branches out with the mystery of Rachel Amber, Chloe's best friend, who has vanished without a trace, as well as many other shady and malicious acts happening in the halls of Blackwell and throughout Arcadia Bay, all intertwined and culminating with Max's new ability to rewind time. Yeah, it's a lot for a teenager to handle. Now, if this sounds like an after-school special with sci-fi elements thrown in, cranked all the way up to an 11, well, that's because it's exactly what it is. And it's awesome. By far the best aspect of Life is Strange is its story. The overall journey throughout this 15 to 18 hour adventure is a fantastic and incredibly emotional one. While there are definitely some cheesy and contrived moments in the story, there are so many plot twists and gut-wrenching moments where I just had to put down the controller and what was happening on screen just made me go, What? What am I supposed to do now? And I'm not ashamed to admit, this game had me bawling at least 3 or 4 times.
This isn't how I want things to end. What? What are you saying? I'm saying that being with you again has been so special. I just wanted to feel like when we were kids running around Arcadia Bay and everything was possible. And you made me feel that way today.
I'm not crying!
I want this time with you.
You're crying!
This memory.
Occasionally, the game did have some pacing issues when it came to the story, and some episodes did overstay their welcome. I took my time thoroughly to explore each episode, and they all lasted around 3 hours, with the exception of episode 4, which took almost 4 hours to complete and felt unnecessarily long. There are other moments of lagging throughout the game, which could be annoying when all I wanted to do was further the plot, but it was never enough to really hinder the experience for me. In addition to the story, another high point of this game for me is its diverse cast of characters that inhabit Blackwell Academy and Arcadia Bay. I was so drawn in by my interactions with these characters that I actively sought out and talked to every single person I could find within the game. Even stereotypical and seemingly 2D characters had elements about them revealed by the end of the game that added a completely new dimension to who they are and shattered your expectations about them. Now, this game is sort of famous for it, and yes, the dialogue can be very awkward and out of place. A lot of times it doesn't feel very modern, and is kind of disconnected from the characters who are speaking it.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra? Maybe not.
Despite that obstacle, I felt the voice actors gave great performances for the most part, and made each character feel unique, especially Ashley Burke and Hannah Tell for their performances as Chloe and Max.
Booyah! Get it? Booyah. Like I'm a scary punk ghost.
The bulk of the gameplay focuses around Max's time rewinding ability. Throughout each episode, there are a series of major decisions, as well as a lot of minor ones, which, depending on your choice, will have an impact on your story and the rest of the game. The really cool thing is that because you can rewind time at will, you can choose one option, see how it plays out, and then rewind and see what would happen if you made the opposite choice. While this seems like it would take all of the fun out of making and living with your decision, this isn't at all the case. Each choice has its pros and cons, and while you do get to see the immediate fallout, you don't actually know what major consequences it will have down the line, and by that point, it's too late to turn back and change your mind. I really enjoyed having the option to see what would happen both ways, and it actually made me deliberate over my choices more so than if I didn't know what the outcome of my decision would be. Max's rewind ability is also how you will get through the many obstacles and puzzles that the game throws your way. The puzzles can be hit or miss. Some of these moments were really enjoyable, such as playing detective and talking to many of the game's inhabitants to learn key facts, then rewinding and using the information you just heard to get different dialogue options. However, some can be boring and unimaginative time sinks. Oh look! I accidentally knocked over and ruined this important item for the umpteenth time. Better rewind time to take a precaution I didn't think about again before reaching for it. And seriously, screw finding those 5 bottles. Even the developers came out later and admitted they messed up by making that puzzle so hard to solve. Thankfully, because it was episodic, the developers were able to fix a lot of these issues in later episodes, and they even threw in a couple inside jokes and references to them throughout the game. In terms of the graphics, DONTNOD didn't try for any sort of super realism, instead opting for a very stylized and unique look. While not the best looking game out there, the graphics definitely have charm, with characters and scenery having a very artistic, almost painted look. This works incredibly well for the settings and environments of Life is Strange, creating some truly beautiful locales, like the beach at sunset, and some really awe-inspiring moments, such as the roaring storm threatening to tear its way through Arcadia Bay. While the style helps the environment, it unfortunately hinders the character models themselves, creating an uncanny valley effect. The models can look pretty funny and unnatural at times, which does break the immersion occasionally. The game runs well for the most part, but does occasionally stutter and have some graphical hitches. I didn't feel they were as frequent as some of the games running on Telltale's engine, but they were there nonetheless. I did also run into the occasional glitch. This was very infrequent, and I don't remember running into any during my original playthrough, but on my second time I clipped through the ground in episode 2. It wasn't game-breaking, but definitely ruined the serious moment that was supposed to be happening. One aspect of Life is Strange that is consistently good from start to finish is the game's soundtrack. In fact, having a physical CD of all these songs is probably the best reason to own the limited edition. I still regularly listen to these songs, and people stop me all the time and gush about how much they love this music without realizing it's all on a video game soundtrack. The songs they picked for each moment of the game do a phenomenal job of transporting you into the world and setting the tone, and are just as important to each scene as anything that is happening on screen. And, without spoiling anything, Mountains and Spanish Sahara can still bring me to tears for their role in some of the most emotional moments of this game.
My powers might not last, Chloe.
That's okay. We will. Forever.
I think what impresses me most about Life is Strange is its maturity. Developer DONTNOD took an incredible risk making this game and crafting it around subject matter which many AAA developers wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Seriously, when has a major release dealt with such real-life issues so maturely? Bullying, depression, suicide, death, financial stress, marital issues, broken families, euthanasia, homosexuality. This game covers all these taboos and handles them with such grace and maturity that I really feel it propels us into the next level of what video games can be as an art form and as a storytelling medium. It's really no wonder that so many people who play this game have such strong reactions to it. It echoes in all of us and hits really close to home. So many people deal with these issues, and I'm really glad that a video game company looked at these struggles and embraced them, rather than hide them away. Life is Strange is, to me, a true work of art, and one of the best releases in recent years. I gave Life is Strange a 9 out of 10. Okay, does this game have its flaws? Absolutely, but it is truly greater than the sum of its parts. If more developers are willing to take such a risk with controversial subject matter like this in the future and handle it as well as DONTNOD has, then I have high hopes for the future of our industry and the games that we produce. If you've made it here to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please leave in the comments below your own thoughts and opinions on Life is Strange. But if you want to talk spoilers and really dissect what happens in this game, please join me in my second video, Let's Discuss Life is Strange, where I would love to talk about all of the intimate details and story elements of this game with you. So, I'll see you over in the second video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you again soon.